Chapter 53. Elizabeth sat up in bed, her heart beating wildly, not knowing what it was that had wakened her. Then she heard it again. An eerie, high-pitched scream that seemed to come from right outside her window, the sound of someone in the agony of death. Elizabeth arose and stumbled over to the window and looked out into the night. It was a landscape by Daumier, lit by a chill winter moon. The trees were black and stark, their branches whipped by a wild wind. In the distance, far below, the sea was a boiling cauldron. The scream came again, and Elizabeth realized what it was: the singing rocks. The scirocco had risen in intensity and was blowing through them, making that terrible keening sound over and over. And it became Reese's voice she was hearing, crying out for her, begging her to help him. She could not stand it. She covered her ears with her hands, but the sound would not go away. Elizabeth started toward the bedroom door, and she was surprised at how weak she was. Her mind was hazy with exhaustion. She walked out into the hallway and started down the stairs. She felt dazed, as though she had been drugged. She had tried to call out to Detective Campagna, but her voice was a hoarse croak. She kept descending the long flight of stairs, fighting to keep her balance. She called aloud, "Detective Campagna!" There was no answer. Elizabeth stumbled into the living room. He was not there. She moved from room to room, holding on to furniture to keep from falling down. Detective Campagna was not in the house. She was alone. Elizabeth stood in the hallway, her mind confused, trying to force herself to think. The detective had stepped outside to talk to the policeman in the patrol car. Of course, that was it. She walked to the front door and opened it and looked outside. No one was there. Only the black night and the screaming wind. With a growing feeling of fear, Elizabeth turned and made her way back to the study. She would call the police station and find out what had happened. She picked up the telephone and the line was dead. It was at that instant that all the lights went out.